On February 24, 2022, Ukraine awoke to the thunder of explosions and the chaos of invasion. Highways westward jammed with cars, families desperate to escape the violence. At the borders, hope turned to heartbreak as a new rule was enforced. Ukrainian border guards, faces grim, delivered the news. Men of fighting age could not leave. Fathers, sons, and brothers were separated from their families in an instant. The border became a line not just of geography, but of fate. Tearful goodbyes unfolded in the shadow of war, promises made, futures uncertain. Men hugged their children, kissed their partners, and turned back toward a country at war. The exodus split. Women and children moved forward. Men remained behind. The gates closed, not with locks, but with the weight of duty. For many, the hardest journey began not on the road, but at the border itself. The war's first dividing line was drawn not by bombs, but by law. The border closure was the result of martial law declared by President Zelensky as the invasion began. Martial law gave the government sweeping powers, curfews, media control, and, most crucially, general mobilization. Curfews, media control, general mobilization. Every able-bodied man was now legally bound to serve the war effort. The travel ban was blunt, but clear fighting-age men must stay to defend Ukraine. Overnight, the right to leave was suspended for millions. The needs of the nation now outweighed individual freedoms. The message was unmistakable. Ukraine's survival depended on collective sacrifice. The choice to flee was no longer theirs. The country had shifted from peace to total war in a single day. The exit ban targeted all male citizens aged 18 to 60. This sweeping rule made no distinction between students, professionals, or veterans. Every man was a potential defender. Only a few exceptions existed: men medically unfit, sole guardians of 3 or more children, or those in critical professions. For most, there was no escape. Women and children were urged to leave, while men were required to stay. The policy created a stark gender divide: men as protectors, women and children as evacuees. The burden of defense fell squarely on the shoulders of millions of men. Whether ready or not, their place was now in Ukraine. The line was drawn and duty called. Border crossings became sites of wrenching farewells. Men delivered their families to safety, then turned back alone into uncertainty. Fathers knelt to hug their children, pressing toys into small hands before saying goodbye. Young couples clung to each other, futures torn apart in a moment. The journey back from the border was lonely, toward danger, not away from it. Some joined defense units, others waited for the call to serve. The emotional toll was immense, hearts with their families, bodies left behind. Goodbyes at the border redefined families and roles overnight. Men became not just protectors of loved ones, but of the nation itself. The cost of separation was measured in both tears and resolve. The exit ban was a desperate measure for a nation outgunned and outnumbered. Ukraine needed every possible defender to resist the Russian advance. Allowing men to flee would have crippled the country's ability to fight. The policy was a harsh but necessary calculation. Without soldiers, there could be no defense. History is full of such wartime mobilizations. Ukraine followed a familiar, if painful, playbook. Men not sent to the front were needed for vital civilian roles: building, repairing, supplying. The ban ensured a workforce to sustain the war effort, from trenches to cities. National survival demanded sacrifice from all. Not every man became a soldier, but all became essential. Many joined local defense forces, protecting their own neighborhoods. Others volunteered as drivers, rescuers, or repairmen, risking their lives to keep Ukraine running. Men rebuilt power lines, delivered aid, and kept cities functioning under fire. The war effort needed cooks, drivers, warehouse workers, and medics as much as fighters. The exit ban created a workforce for every critical task. Every man, in uniform or not, became part of Ukraine's resistance. The nation's survival depended on their collective effort. The exit ban sparked fierce debate. Critics called it discriminatory, arguing that safety should not depend on gender. Petitions demanded the right to choose how to serve, at home or abroad. Yet most Ukrainians saw the policy as a painful necessity. Many men volunteered before being called, driven by duty and honor. For supporters, national survival outweighed individual rights. The debate faded as the reality of war set in. Everyone had a role to play. The exit ban became a symbol of collective sacrifice. By 2026, the long-term impact of the exit ban is clear. A generation of men saw their lives put on hold, careers, studies, and dreams postponed by war. Years of anxiety, separation, and uncertainty left deep psychological scars. Families were split, children grew up apart from fathers, relationships strained by distance and trauma. The recent easing of the ban for young men brought hope, but lost years cannot be reclaimed. Economically, many men were left underemployed, unable to support families abroad. The policy, while necessary, came at a steep personal and national cost. Reuniting families and rebuilding lives will be a challenge for years to come. The legacy of the exit ban is one of sacrifice and loss. Ukraine's exit ban on men stands as one of the war's defining choices. It ensured the nation's survival, but at enormous personal cost. Millions became a national reserve, bound by law and duty. The men who stayed formed the backbone of resistance: soldiers, volunteers, workers. Their sacrifice saved Ukraine, but fractured families and futures. The policy's legacy is complex, a testament to both resilience and the pain of war. The stories of separation and endurance are now part of Ukraine's national identity. The exit ban was more than law, it was a pact of survival. Its burden and sacrifice will shape Ukraine for generations.